one of Buffalo's most well-known cultural has been busy making music in the big city. We are joined with Cindy Litro, who chaired the BPO's trip to Carnegie Hall, as well as violinist John Costello. Now, this is pretty big news. Violist, right? Violist.
Thank you.
My correction, look at that.
His partners in the section would yell at you, yeah.
Now, you know, this is a huge trip to Carnegie Hall, one of the most well-known venues for music. So tell us how this all came about.
Well, what's great about this is we were invited to come. That's what makes this more prestigious, because, you know, it is a venue. You know, you can go there, like, you can go to the Odd, or you can rent Kleinhans, whatever, but we were invited to perform. And we were one of 5 orchestras that was selected to perform for the Spring for Music Festival, and they chose it by what we were playing and by the orchestra, and I mean, it's very prestigious, right?
Carnegie is the world stage. It's amazing. It sounds great. And I mean, everybody knows about Carnegie Hall, even the joke, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. So it's a well-known venue.
Now, you mentioned it was chosen on the piece you were playing. So tell us a little bit about the music that you made at Carnegie Hall.
Very long, but incredible, this Glier piece.
Yeah, we were playing a symphony by Glier, Russian composer. The piece is about 70 minutes long. It's huge. It's monumental, very romantic, suits the orchestra really well.
And look at it. It requires a very large
look
orchestra.
At the size of that I mean, it's huge. And
100 musicians.
And it's sort of like running a marathon. It's a musical marathon. So at the end, you're just exhausted, but it's an incredible piece.
And what made this, Matt, a little harder was they played it the weekend before. So you can imagine they had 2 concerts, plus the rehearsals, plus they recorded it for Naxos. So by the time they got to Carnegie Hall, they really were on adrenaline to give a really great performance. Exactly. And this was then listened to. It was broadcast live that evening. And people in Russia, the family of the composer, were able to actually hear it.
So what was the reception to this? You know, what have people in Buffalo been saying about this amazing trip?
You know, the build up to it has been great, or was great. Even when I was putting my suitcase in my car to go to the airport to fly to New York, 2 of my neighbors came out. I mean, this was early in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. They came out and said, "Good luck at Carnegie. We heard about your trip. It's going to be great. We'll be listening online," which that's what's really special about the trip that we made. It wasn't just about the orchestra. It really was about Buffalo. Even when we came out on stage at Carnegie, there were about 1,500 people that had traveled from Buffalo to Carnegie. And as a performer, that's just overwhelming to see that kind of support. I've never experienced that before, and it was humbling and overwhelming and exciting.
Well, what was different, too, about this is that each orchestra that played that week, they sort of had a color, and our color was kind of the green of your pants. And we had these things called fan flags. So normally you think about going to an orchestra concert, and it's very sort of, you know, formal and whatever. We were encouraged to hoot and holler and be like we were at a Buffalo Bills game. So when Joanne came out the first time, because she did a little interview at the beginning that was broadcast live and told about what Buffalo is all about, people gave her a standing ovation and hoot and hollered and waved these flags.
I heard a few "Let's go Buffalo" chants. It was unbelievable. It was great.
And then when the orchestra came out, it happened all over again. And in fact, when the New York Times reviewed it, they said if anyone has any question about whether a community loves their orchestra, there was no doubt when they played on May 8th. But I wondered, you know, I haven't had a chance to talk to Jazz. What was it like when you saw all those people screaming and yelling, which is not normal?
It's incredible. It just really shows the support that we have here. For the orchestra. I love this town, and even I run into people at Wegmans. "Oh, I heard your concert. That was great."
Now, do you still have access to this concert? Can we listen online?
I think WQXR, out of New York City, the radio station, does have a link that you can listen to the concert. I think it's still available, yes.
And we'll do a little research, and if we can find that link, we'll make sure that we post it right along with this story. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and of course, thank you for the contribution you're making to Buffalo's arts community.
This was our Super Bowl. The Buffalo finally got to go. The BPO had their own Super Bowl.
I love putting it that way. Well, thank you guys, and right now we're going to head over to Diana.
Thanks, Matt. We're in the